Hello everyone, this is Dan Gramza and welcome to Advanced Gramza Market Studies for Thursday, October 3rd. Well, before we begin here, I want to just mention something, and we talked about this before, and it's that relationship between, the dynamic of the market and where it is with respect to the overall trend. I'm moving that back there a little bit. And here's what I want you to look at. Which market is leading the way? Which stock index is leading the way? Now, the way I would look at this, the S&P, look at where it's trading with respect to its swing high. Now, look at the NASDAQ market. NASDAQ market is right there near its previous swing high. It's actually stronger than these other indices. For example, if you look down here at the Dow, look where it's, a triple top type behavior. It has backed off near its swing low. That means that the NASDAQ market would be down here right now, if indeed that was behaving the same way. Same thing here for the mid caps. That's the second strongest out of these indices. So I look at not only where we are, but also how did we get there, and where are we with respect to each other in terms of these indices. So what does that mean to us, though? How does that fit into what we're looking for? From my point of view, what I'm looking for is a market to maintain these rhythms. I am still bullish these markets. I guess the Dow has come off, for example, and the mid caps have gone sideways. Do they have a reason to give us a dramatic rally? No. Did we look for strong follow through in today's action, even though, and I should say yesterday's action, even though the day before we saw here in the S&P a pretty good move to the upside? My comment was we would not look for the same type of move for yesterday's action across the board, not only in the stock indices, but also in the metals and energy and some of the other markets that we are looking for. But let's start here with these markets. I am looking for buyers to continue to come in. The reason I say that is look at the behavior we're seeing. Now, we had China and Japan were closed for holiday, but if we look at this action, it tells us that somebody's buying the break. The market is acting bouncy, is another way to say it. My bias for these stock indices is unchanged to higher. I'm not looking for a dramatic move down unless something changes fundamentally. And right now, I don't see that happening. If you look at what's on the agenda, and if you look at what's happening in Washington, I'm looking for an unchanged type day. It's going to take a while before somebody on one of the sides decides to really make a decision to compromise in some ways. Now the euro continues to get stronger, and this bearish level, which was moved up on yesterday to 37.28, has not changed. That remains the same. Same for the Swissy. That remains the same at 109.30. And for our friend Mr. Yen, you can see it's right back here knocking on the door again at 102.65 is that bullish level. But I'm not looking for, as I said before, a dramatic move in Japanese yen. And even though we pushed up, you can see right now it's getting a little softer, and I'm looking for that kind of behavior. The bearish level for that market is 101.40. Aussie dollar, a nice, from my point of view, so non-symmetrical pullback. We had that little push to the upside. The next few days, I said, would make the big difference. If indeed buyers are here, we need to see the follow-through. So far, we have not had that. Let me open that up a little bit more for you. We have not had that type of behavior to support that. Yesterday's action, fine, it gives us a rest day like this. But we got to get up and get going, and I am looking for that behavior. I'm looking for these currencies to get stronger and for the U.S. dollar to get weaker. I mean, talking about grinding away higher, look at the pound. The British pound is doing just that. Here's that swing high that we're way below when it comes to the Aussie dollar. Well, we've exceeded it with the British pound. But notice that once it started to move, we went above that previous swing high within the next period actually. So that's the kind of rhythm we're looking for. We're not seeing it in these other currencies yet. We did in the euro, and we did in the Swissy, I should say. We're not seeing it in the Aussie dollar or the Canadian dollar. But I'm still bullish on those currencies more than the expectation of a dramatic move to the downside. Alrighty. I think structurally we're still in play. And when it comes to the interest rate markets, short end of the curve, excuse me, behaving like it should. But the notes, we did get a rally, but notice we got sellers above 16, and that's the behavior I'm looking for. To give you an idea, 30 is that bearish level that we got down to 30 and a half. If you can see that, make it a little bit bigger for you. There you go, 30 and a half. So it did not trade below that bearish level, but I am looking for an unchanged to lower type market. I am not bullish on these notes or on these bonds. Again, they sold the rally. This is a very neutral setup. That's the way the bonds are behaving. They're buying below 33. They're selling above 33 and a half. That's what you have here. And we're looking for more of that to continue, with my feeling is the bias is for a move to the downside. The bearish level here is at 132.20. Metals. Gold gave us that move right back up. I said yesterday that we were not looking for another dramatic move down. I was looking for unchanged to lower, a smaller move. This buying did come back in. I'm not looking for a dramatic follow through, by the way. Now this is an equal and opposite. It's bullish as it traded below that swing low and came right back up. The expectation normally is that you get follow through. It's the igniter that creates a stronger move. I don't see it happening here, not in gold. I'd be amazed if we get above 1350. So we're looking for an unchanged to higher type move, but not a dramatic move. Silver, the same thing. You know, we step outside of the sideways move here, and what do we get? Really another shadow. Remember, an equal and opposite, and this is the way I define it. But if you look at that, as fast as we went down, we came right back in. That's rejection. The issue is there paper behind it. I don't think there is. We don't have an excuse to create that kind of movement. Same thing for copper, and as you and I talked about, I'm bullish on copper. I'm not bearish on this market. But today, I'm looking for a rest day. Now, Friday, we could have an excuse, because it's the end of the week, and as well as a few other things going on, that could create some volatility. I'm just not really looking for it today. In crude oil, we did find some movement. That buying that was, teetering around here. Every time we got below 102, they would buy the break, and we saw follow through. Now, are we looking for this to continue? Are we looking for another day like this? No, I am not. I'm looking for a market to maybe rotate higher a little bit, but I'm looking for an unchanged type day. Now, this difference between the bearish and the bullish level is $3.35, or in the full size contract, that would be $3,350. In the mini contract, that would be $1,675. Remember, you have a variety of different contracts in these complexes, microcurrencies and micro gold, as well as mini crude oil, mini wheat or corn, soybean contracts. So a variety of choices. But in this market, the new bearish level, you believe it takes out those swing lows. And that, in this case, would be 100.90. So $100.90. Natural gas continues to bounce back and forth. Again, this reminds me of silver. We just saw very similar behavior. So this, we break lower, we find buyers. We rally higher, and we find sellers. Again, these two together are the same as the shadow on the upside. It's a very neutral position, and that's what I'm looking for, a sideways move. Grains, we got low enough to find a little bit of buying. In soybeans, that bullish level there is at 1284. In corn, the bullish level there is 443. As I said before, I am, I'm looking for that next surge in these grains. Not a dramatic move, but a move rotating to the upside I think could be expected. We're knocking on that door already. Yesterday, we can see the bullish level here is at 687, and we made an attempt yesterday above it, but backed away from it. Right now, we're right back there again. So I am looking for a little bit of follow through here to the upside. The pieces are in place. Now let's see if these buyers can give us that follow through. Well, that concludes today's market studies, advanced market studies. Thank you for being with me, and I'm looking forward to being with you again. And as always, in the meantime, take care.